Eldoria was a land of peace. It was a place where tranquility reigned supreme, and the worries of the world seemed to melt away. The air was always fresh, filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the gentle hum of nature. Rolling hills stretched as far as the eye could see, their lush greenery painting a picture of serenity. These hills were not just a sight to behold, but a testament to the land's fertility and the hard work of its people. Sparkling rivers flowed through fields of golden wheat, their waters nourishing the land and the people who called it home. The rivers were the lifeblood of Eldoria, providing sustenance and joy to all. The people were happy, their faces always adorned with smiles, a reflection of the land's bounty. They worked hard, but they also knew how to laugh and celebrate. Festivals were a common occurrence, filled with music, dance, and laughter. The community was tight-knit, everyone looking out for one another, sharing in both the joys and the sorrows of life. In a small village, nestled near a whispering forest, lived a young woman named Lila. The forest was a place of mystery and wonder, its trees whispering secrets to those who would listen. Lila often found herself drawn to its edge, captivated by its beauty and the promise of adventure.
I was just a farm girl, with bright eyes and a quick smile. My days were simple, filled with the rhythm of the seasons and the tasks that came with them. I found joy in the little things, like the warmth of the sun on my face and the feel of the earth beneath my feet. I loved my family and my life. We were a close-knit group, always there for each other. We worked together, laughed together, and faced the challenges of life together. Our bond was unbreakable, forged through years of shared experiences and mutual support. I spent my days tending to the fields and evenings sharing stories under the stars. The fields were my sanctuary, a place where I could lose myself in the rhythm of work and the beauty of nature. At night we would gather around the campfire, sharing tales and dreams under the vast starry sky. I loved to hear tales of Eldoria's past. The stories of old were filled with wonder and magic, painting a picture of a world where anything was possible. These tales were a source of inspiration, fueling my imagination and filling my heart with hope. Legends of brave knights and magical creatures filled me with wonder. I would often dream of these heroes and their adventures, imagining myself in their place, facing challenges and discovering new worlds. The enchanted forest, with its mythical creatures and hidden secrets, was a place I longed to explore. Little did I know I was about to become part of those legends. My simple life was on the brink of a transformation, one that would take me on a journey beyond my wildest dreams. The adventures that awaited me would test my courage, my strength, and my belief in the magic of Eldoria.
One day, a shadow fell over Eldoria. A monstrous dragon, Azeroth, descended from the sky. His scales were the color of blood. His eyes burned with ancient fire. Azeroth breathed fire and destruction. Villages burned, and fields turned to ash.
I am the king of Eldoria, a good man, but not a warrior. I watched in despair as my kingdom crumbled. My knights were brave, but their swords were useless against Azeroth's scales. Fear gripped the hearts of my people.
We were terrified. Our homes, our lives, everything we knew was being destroyed. We felt so helpless.
Lila watched in horror as Azeroth destroyed her world. The once peaceful village was now engulfed in flames, and the cries of her people echoed through the night. The dragon's fiery breath turned homes into ashes, and its mighty roar shook the very ground beneath her feet. Lila's heart pounded in her chest as she witnessed the devastation. Feeling a mix of fear and helplessness, she knew she had to do something. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on her shoulders, but she couldn't let fear paralyze her. Lila's mind raced with thoughts of how she could possibly stand against such a formidable foe. She had always heard tales of heroes and their legendary battles, but now she was faced with the reality of becoming one herself. One night, an old woman from her village came to Lila. The air was thick with tension, and the village was eerily quiet, save for the distant sounds of destruction. The old woman moved with a sense of urgency, her eyes reflecting the gravity of the situation. She had seen many things in her long life, but nothing quite like this. The woman's eyes were filled with a strange light. It was as if she carried the wisdom of ages within her gaze. Lila felt a shiver run down her spine as the old woman looked at her, a silent understanding passing between them. There was something otherworldly about her presence, something that hinted at ancient knowledge and hidden truths.
The old woman spoke of an ancient legend. Her voice was soft yet powerful, weaving a tale that seemed to transcend time itself. She spoke of heroes who had risen in times of great peril, of battles fought and won against seemingly insurmountable odds. Lila listened intently, her heart swelling with a newfound sense of hope and determination. "There is a way to defeat the dragon," she whispered. Her words were like a lifeline, offering a glimmer of hope in the darkness. Lila leaned in closer, eager to grasp every detail of the old woman's revelation. The fate of her village and perhaps the entire realm depended on this knowledge. A hidden amulet and a sword forged in the heart of a dying star. These were no ordinary artifacts. They were imbued with the power of the ancients, capable of turning the tide of battle. The amulet was said to grant its bearer unparalleled strength and wisdom, while the sword could cut through the very fabric of reality. They are said to hold the power of the ancients. These relics were more than just tools. They were symbols of hope and resilience, passed down through generations. Lila felt a surge of determination as she realized that she was destined to wield these powerful artifacts. The weight of her responsibility was immense, but so was her resolve.
The old woman pointed towards the Whispering Woods. The forest was shrouded in mystery, its depths hiding secrets that had been forgotten by time. It was said that only the bravest could navigate its treacherous paths and emerge unscathed. Lila knew that her journey would be fraught with danger, but she was ready to face whatever lay ahead.
"The fate of Eldoria rests in your hands, Lila," she said. Her voice was filled with a mix of solemnity and encouragement. Lila felt the weight of her words, understanding the gravity of her mission. She was no longer just a village girl. She was the chosen one, destined to save her people from the clutches of darkness. "You are the chosen one." The words echoed in Lila's mind, solidifying her resolve. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the journey ahead. The path would be long and arduous, but she knew that she was not alone. With the ancient artifacts and the wisdom of the old woman guiding her, Lila was ready to embrace her destiny and fight for the future of Eldoria.
Lila was scared, but she knew what she had to do. She entered the Whispering Woods, her heart pounding. The trees seemed to whisper her name, guiding her path. After what felt like an eternity, she stumbled upon an ancient cave hidden behind a waterfall. Inside, bathed in an ethereal glow, lay the amulet and the sword.
As I touched the amulet, I felt a surge of power flow through me. I knew at that moment that the legends were true.
Section 5. Preparing for Battle. A kingdom's hope rests on Lila's shoulders. In a land where darkness threatened to engulf every corner, a beacon of light emerged. This beacon was none other than Lila, a young woman whose destiny was intertwined with the fate of her kingdom. Her journey was not just one of self-discovery, but also of immense responsibility.
Lila emerged from the forest, transformed. The dense woods had been her training ground, a place where she honed her skills and discovered her true potential. Each step she took out of the forest was a testament to her growth and determination. She was no longer the timid girl who once feared the shadows. She was now a warrior ready to face any challenge.
The amulet hung around her neck, radiating warmth and courage. This was no ordinary piece of jewelry. It was a symbol of her strength and the hope of her people. The amulet had been passed down through generations, each bearer adding their own legacy to its power. Now it was Lila's turn to add her chapter to its storied history. The sword felt light as a feather in her hand. It was as if the weapon recognized her as its rightful wielder. With every swing, she felt a connection to the warriors of the past, their spirits guiding her movements. This sword was not just a tool of battle. It was an extension of her will and determination.
She returned to her village, no longer a simple farm girl, but a beacon of hope. The villagers, who once saw her as just another face in the crowd, now looked up to her with admiration and trust. They had heard tales of her bravery and the challenges she had overcome. To them, she was a symbol of resilience and the promise of a brighter future.
Word of Lila's discovery spread like wildfire. The news traveled from village to village, reaching even the most remote corners of the kingdom. People spoke of her with reverence, their voices filled with hope and anticipation. They believed that with Lila leading the charge, they had a fighting chance against the encroaching darkness. People flocked to her side, their fear replaced by a glimmer of hope. They saw in her the strength they needed to stand up against their oppressors. Families, warriors, and even the elderly gathered, ready to support her in any way they could. Lila's presence ignited a spark of unity and determination among the people.
The king, his face etched with despair, saw in Lila the salvation of his kingdom. He had watched as his lands were ravaged by darkness, feeling powerless to stop it. But now, with Lila's emergence, he felt a renewed sense of hope. He believed that she was the key to restoring peace and prosperity to his realm.
Lila, now clad in leather armor, the amulet glowing on her chest, stands before a crowd of villagers. She looked out at the faces of those who depended on her, feeling the weight of their expectations. But instead of fear, she felt a surge of determination. She knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but with the support of her people and the strength she had gained, she was ready to face whatever came her way. The kingdom's hope truly rested on her shoulders, and she was prepared to carry that burden with pride and courage.
Section 6. Face to face with evil. Lila's courage shines brightest.
Lila led the people to the heart of the kingdom, where Azeroth had made his lair.
She rode at the front, her eyes fixed on the monstrous dragon. The sight of Azeroth sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest warriors, but Lila stood firm.
The air crackled with anticipation.
The ground trembled as Azeroth emerged from the ruins of the once great castle, his eyes burning with malevolent fury.
The final battle was about to begin.
Section 7. The Dragon's Fury. Azeroth unleashes his wrath.
Roar!
Azeroth roared, a sound that shook the heavens and unleashed a torrent of fire.
Everyone scatter!
Lila's followers scattered, their courage faltering in the face of such raw power. But Lila stood her ground. The amulet around her neck pulsed with an ancient energy, shielding her from the flames. She raised her sword, its blade thrumming with power. The time had come to face the dragon. The fate of Eldoria rested on her shoulders. Section 8. A sacrifice for Eldoria. Lila's ultimate act of courage. The battle raged. Lila fought with the strength of 100 warriors, the ancient sword a blur in her hands. But Azeroth was too powerful. She realized that she couldn't defeat him by force alone.
I have to make a choice, a sacrifice.
With a heavy heart, Lila channeled all the energy of the amulet into her sword. She leaped towards Azeroth, her eyes filled with a terrible resolve.
Roar!
The dragon roared in defiance, but it was too late. Section 9. A new dawn for Eldoria, rebuilding from the ashes. Lila's sacrifice shattered the amulet, unleashing a wave of pure energy that engulfed Azeroth. The dragon shrieked, his massive form disintegrating into dust. When the light faded, all that remained was silence. Lila was gone, but her courage had saved Eldoria.
We mourn her loss, but we also celebrate her sacrifice.
The people mourned her loss, but they also celebrated her sacrifice. They rebuilt their kingdom, stronger and more united than before. Section 10. Back to the fields, but not for long. Lila's legend lives on. Lila awoke in a field of wildflowers. She was home, but she could still feel the echo of the amulet's power within her. She knew that her life as a farm girl was over, but her adventures were just beginning.
I am a hero, a legend.
Lila would forever be remembered as the savior of Eldoria, the farm girl who faced a dragon. And somewhere, deep inside, she knew that her journey was far from over. The world needed heroes, and Lila was ready to answer the call.